So I've had a lot of people ask how to integrate Bootstrap's menu into WordPress to work with the WordPress menu structure. So when you go to appearance and menus, obviously you can control your menus here. And a lot of people want to use Bootstrap's pre-made menu in WordPress, and that's completely understandable. The big problem with that is because WordPress has its own way of displaying the elements in the CSS elements, and the whole HTML markup is completely different from a standard WordPress menu compared to a Bootstrap menu. So the way that we get around this is we use a thing called a walker class, and basically a WordPress menu walker class is basically overriding the standard menu functionality. And we are very, very lucky that there is already a class that exists for us to implement this very, very easily. So to integrate it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add the Bootstrap menu at the top here just to show you how it works. But what you want to do is you firstly want to go onto Google and do a search for WP Bootstrap Nav Walker. Now, when you go there, go to this one, which is on GitHub. Click into it, and as you can see, it works with Bootstrap 4. So try to have the latest version of Bootstrap if you're going to use this. And then you just need to follow the instructions here. The first thing you need to do to make this work would be to grab this Walker class here. So if you click into it and you click on Raw, you can download, or not download, copy the whole class. So if you just do, say, Control A and then Control C, which will copy everything, then go into your project and let's create a new file within the folder. So to do that, we can just, where are we? Just click on this area here, new file, and we need to call it the same name. So class -wp-bootstrap navwalker.php. And then we paste all of this code in there. Now you can have a look at the code if you want to, but basically it's overriding WordPress's menu functionality, but it will only override it if you tell it to. So we'll get to that shortly. So now that we have this class in our project, what we can do now is we just need to register in our functions.php to tell WordPress to load this class. So to do that, if you go to functions.php, go to the bottom, and we just need to copy something from the actual website. So I'll just go back to that website, go back to the main page, scroll down, and you should see the navigation walker. So if we copy that and then paste that into our functions.php, now that class is getting loaded into our project. The last thing we need to do is we need to, obviously it's asking us to register a menu, which we already have registered a menu, so we don't have to worry about that. Then we just need to grab this code here. And then we're going to go to our header of our page, and let's just put it underneath our header. So we'll open the PHP tags, paste this in, close it off, and you should see there are a few options here. Now the first thing would be the theme location, so the menu location. And if we go to our functions.php again, I'll just close out of this, and we go to the top, you remember in the past video I showed you how to add some menu locations. So we want to use the top menu location. You can use any location you want, but for this one we'll use the top menu, and then we'll change that to top menu. Now, as this comment says, if you want drop downs, you can have 2. If you don't want drop downs, make it 1. These are all the classes, Bootstrap classes, that you can change if you'd like to, but they're all kind of already set up to make it work. And then you can see that the walker, which is basically the underlying PHP which controls how WordPress translates the menus into actual HTML and CSS, is being overridden, or we're using a different walker as opposed to the standard WordPress nav walker. Okay, so let's save that now and let's refresh. Now we can't see anything, so I'll just see why that's happening. Okay, so looking at this, why it's not displaying, I'm not completely sure. But if we go back to GitHub, I notice that instead of doing this, I should have done this. So this will actually show the CSS of the nav menu. This is just doing the basic list items. So let's just go here and paste that there, change this to top dash menu, and let's go back to our page and refresh it, and you should see now we have the WordPress nav bar, which is working perfectly. So we could go back to our appearance and menus and add an item. So let's just add About Us again there and put it underneath About Us. And go back to the front page. You'll see that About Us now has that drop down menu as well. Now let's just see if it actually goes to a third level. I'll add Contact Us, which is underneath About Us. So we'll see the depth of this actual. Okay, so it only goes one drop down. It doesn't go any further than one. But yeah, so that is basically how you can integrate Bootstrap's menu functionality in WordPress. And as you can see, it's also fully responsive. So it actually just works, which is great. Now you may be using different classes for your menu. So you can just basically go into here and change the classes. So if it was using this class for the container ID, just change it. And then it should all work as per usual. And that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do to integrate Bootstrap's menu structure into WordPress so it works within the CMS. I hope that's helped, and thank you very much. Cheers.